We were 50 in 1996 and had a superb party, which allowed old acquaintances to be renewed. It was emceed by Nigel Cornwall, G1BUO, who also organised the evening's food and drink. Let's remind ourselves of that evening.
And welcome to you all for our 50th celebration. It's a pleasure to welcome, especially I see some of you have made quite a journey to get here. Special effort has been made. See Derek Buckley. Would you like to stand up, Derek? One of our first chairmen, Martin Tripp. Where are you? Where are you hiding? Oh, there it is. Martin Tripp, another ex-chairman. And Bob Tripp managed to stagger into the car. Another ex-chairman. Bernard Clarence. I think he's here somewhere. Yes, there he is. Another ex-chair. It's come from a fair distance. I'm not going to keep you forward for too long. Please have a browse round. There's lots of displays which have been put up at great expense and great effort by Bob to show what we did do in the past. There are a lot of very past glories because we're not as active as we were, but bear in mind in those days there were 140 members.
My wife said I should cut it down the middle, so I'll
through the PA. By all means.
So I suppose we'll cut it down.
And to the Cray Valley Radio Society on its 50th year, all the best to it, and let's hope that we keep it going.
See you next 50. Bring the zoobs, right? Put me down on the table.
Shackles for you next time. I'm not going to be here next time. Not 50th.
The start of the new millennium saw a real highlight in our history, M2000A at Greenwich. The event was a huge success as we really put amateur radio on the map in the UK for the first time since GB2LO some 30 years earlier.
This is Ranger's House, built almost exactly 300 years ago, and happily for the project, built right across the Greenwich Meridian line. English Heritage, which administers the house, suggested its use, and the committee, which soon grew from 4 members to 14, was very happy indeed to accept the suggestion, and set about working towards the moment when M2000A went on air. For 12 months, this story could be read at the project's net site at www.qsl/M2000A. But we start with a conversation between Dave Lawley, G4BUO, and Giles Brandreth on Brandreth's radio show on LBC in October, one of the first pieces of publicity in a 10-week building up to the project.
Part of the purpose of the project is to show what amateur radio can do, show it's an interesting hobby, it has a lot of technology, we make a great deal of use of the internet and computers, and to show that this is a worthwhile pastime for people to get into, and that helps us to argue for retention of those frequencies.
Look, you are a trio of magnificent ambassadors for the cause of amateur radio, communication around the world. I wish you every success with Project Echo. I see that in fact, I've heard the Duke of Edinburgh is planning to pop in to radio.
We hope so, yes.
Oh, yes, people, the right people are coming to support you. And if there is any radio ham out there who would like to take part, Bob Treacher is going to give you his Go and give me the email number again, because that's another way. Yeah, come on, talk to me, Bob.
The website is www.qsl.net/M2000I.
The years went by and I acquired my full license G2 DQU and had to pass the Morse test and all the usual things. But then, of course, I went into the theatre and my wife wasn't too keen on amateur in terms of transmission. And unfortunately, people got to know who I was. And in those days, I was still in the theatre. And so my contacts were always spoilt in those days by people who used to break in on the repeater. Most of them became CB enthusiasts later on. And so I was always being asked if my trousers were down as I was driving the car. And so it went on. And it actually became rather boring. So I gave it up again, but keep my license going. So today is the first time I've actually operated for nearly 20 years. And I only hope to God I get it right. So, thank you again for asking me to do it. I only hope I don't cock it up. And I hope that it does enthuse lots and lots of young people to take up amateur radio, because it's a great hobby in the future. Thank you very much.
Firework display in New Zealand.
We just noticed it moved to 1100 to midnight, so we thought we'd pass the microphone over. We just want to establish that the frequency is okay, and then I will hand over to Brian Ricks, G2 DQU.
This is Mike 2000 Alpha. It's Brian Ricks here, G2 DQU, wishing all of you in New Zealand, ZL6A, and everyone else, not only the operators, but the entire population in New Zealand, a very, very happy millennium, a happy new year, a wonderful year 2000, and let's hope the next section.
ZL6A operator Brian Miller, ZL1AZE, responded with a message from IHC in New Zealand.
2002 was arguably our best in recent years, perhaps in our entire history, as we operated GB50 from a large marquee on the North Terrace of Windsor Castle to celebrate the Queen's Golden Jubilee. As part of the Jubilee celebrations on the 3rd of June,